Hello everyone, this is Tournament Scoop and we are back we're not going to do any draft or sealed events today, but we are going to be opening up some packs that we have collected over the past few days of playing in the events. So this is the first pack that we opened, and we have the end, one of the greater removal cards. This spell costs 2 less to cast if your life total is 5 or less. It's an instant speed um, spell. And then what it does is exile target creature, planeswalker, search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that permanent and exile them. That player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. We also have Vampiric Rights, a Corvold and a Noble Teeth, and some good common, another common wild card. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, let's go ahead. We have 33 more to go. We'll probably talk about the rares and the mythics. The other ones are probably okay. So we have 8 cards in a pack. 3 of them are uncommon, um, 4 uncommons, and then this is a mythic. Alright, Realm Scourger Hellcat. It's for 6 mana, 2 red and 4 colorless. Bargain, Flying Haste. When Scourge Hellkite enters the battlefield, if it was bargain, add 4 mana of any combination of colors. And then Realm Scorcher Hellkite deals 1 damage to any target. So if you're going to have the 4 mana, you better use it or forever hold your peace. Alright, here we go. Let's go. Open up some packs. Ooh, we have another mythic. And we have Ashiok, Wicked Manipulator. Alright. It's a only planeswalker for this set. Legendary Planeswalker Ashiok. If you would pay life while your library has at least that many cards in it, exile that many cards from the top of your library instead. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, exile one of them, and put the other into your hand, and then -2, create 2 Black Nightmare creature tokens with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if a card was put into exile this turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. And then lastly, -7, target player exiles the top X cards of their library, where X is the total mana value of cards you own in exile. Wow. Alright, that's pretty good. Pretty wild. Arietes Tempting Apple. It's a legendary food artifact. Enters battlefield, gain control of target creature. Until end of turn, untap that creature, gains haste. And then 2 tap, sacrifice the apple, you gain 3 life. And 2 tap, sacrifice the apple, target opponent loses 3 life. So pretty good. I do say so myself. I've gone up against it and I lost because of it. Moving on, let's go open up some pack. We have another rare. This is Archon of the Wild Rose, 4 mana, 4/4 flying. Other creatures you control have enchantment or auras you control have base power and toughness 4 and has flying. Alright, pretty good. Next up, ooh, we have double mythic right there. Look at that. Lucky. Oh, it's a wild card. Boo. We have Grave Pack. This is a. It's not good for standard, but it is good for the other arena formats, which is Brawl, Historic, Explorer, probably, or probably, yeah, for now. So Grave Pack is 3 black mana and 1 colorless. It's an enchantment whenever a creature you control dies. Each other player sacrifices a creature. Alright, we have Sir Ginger, the Meal Ender. It's a 2 mana, 3/1. Sir Ginger, the Meal Ender has Trample, Hexproof, and Haste as long as an opponent controls a Planeswalker. Whenever another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Sir Ginger and scry 1. Nice. We have Lord Skitter's Blessing. Enters the battlefield, create a Wicked Roll token. Attach a target creature you control at the beginning of your draw step. If you control an enchanted creature, you lose 1 life and draw a card. So pretty good. This is Bob in an enchantment form. And I like Bob back when it was legal. Ooh, we have double rare. We have polluted bonds. 5 mana, 2 black. Whenever a land enters battlefield under an opponent's control, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2. So this is a leech card. And we have Iron Crag, 2 mana, legendary artifact. Tap, add 1 colorless, and then whenever a legendary creature enters battlefield under your control, you may have the Iron Crag become a legendary equipment artifact named Everflame Hero's Legacy. If you do, it gains equip 3, and equip creature gets 3/3 and loses all other abilities. Moving on. Alright, we have double rare. As foretold, it's a 3 mana blue enchantment. At the beginning of upkeep, put a time counter on As foretold. Once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost of the spell you cast with mana value X or less, where X is the number of time counters on As foretold. The other one is Devouring Sugar Maw, 4 mana with a adventure cost of 2 for white. Have you for dinner. Create a 1/1 white human creature token and a food token. And then the other one, as the Horror Menace, trample at the beginning of your upkeep. You may sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token. If you don't, tap Devouring Sugar Maw, 6/6. Alright, we have double rare again. We have Shared Animosity. It's a red enchantment. 2 and a red. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. This one is good for the rat rat pack deck. And then Decadent Dragon is a 4 mana 4/4 flying trample. Whenever Decadent Dragon attacks, create a treasure token. And for 3 mana on the black side, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. Very nice. Alright, we have Elvish Archivist. It's a 2 mana on the green side with a 0/1 power and toughness. Whenever 1 or more artifacts enters the battlefield under your control, put 2 1/1 counter on Elvish Archivist. This ability triggers only once each turn, and whenever 1 or more enchantments enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This only triggers once. So you can't make him too big in 1 turn. That'll be too crazy and too powerful. Alright, we have a mythic right here. Will, Zion of Peace. It's a 3 mana blue and white, 2/4 vigilance, legendary human wizard. Tap spell you cast this turn that are white and or blue cost X less to cast, or X the amount of life you gain this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. We have Horned Lockwhale. It's a 6 mana creature, 6/6 flash ward 2. Horned Lockwhale enters the battlefield tapped unless it's your turn. Instant side of it, the adventure side, the owner of target attacking creature you don't control puts it on the top or bottom of their library. Nice. We have Restless Cottage. It's a land. Enters the battlefield tapped, add black or green, and then Restless Cottage becomes a 4/4 black and green horror creature until end of turn. It's still a land. Whenever Restless Cottage attacks, create a flute token and exile up to one target card from a graveyard. It can definitely replace the Trespasser if they rotate out. Prismatic Omen is a 2-mana green enchantment that lets you control every basic land type in addition to their other types. So this one's going to be good for Historic because it's cheaper to get 5, we call this a domain deck because of this. Pretty much the easiest way to get all your mana. Okay, Lord Skitter's Blessing, we already know that, so moving on. 19 more cards. We have Food Fight, 2 red, 1 in a red. Sacrifice artifacts you control have 2. Sacrifice this artifact, it deals damage to any target equal to 1 plus the number of permanents named Food Fight you control. So if I have 4 of it, it will be dealing 5 points of damage for each. So, yep. Kinda hard to make a deck out of it, but it can work. Okay, we have a wild card, and we have a wild card, and we have a wild card. So the only thing Stab Wound can do is enchant a creature, give it -2/-2. At the beginning of upkeep of enchanted creature's controller, that player loses 2 life. Alright. Halfway there, we have Werefox Bodyguard. Flash, when Bodyguard enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-Fox creature until Werefox Bodyguard leaves the battlefield. And then sacrifice Werefox Bodyguard, you gain 2 life. And then we have Knight of Groves, a uncommon. Alright, we have Fawn's Bane Troll, enters the battlefield, create a monster roll token attached to it, sacrifice an aura attached to Fawn's Bane Troll, and then Fawn's Bane Troll fights target creature you don't control. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead, activate only as a sorcery. So enters the battlefield as a 5/5, and then it can say oomph. Alright, we have Gruff Triplets. It's a 6 mana, 3 green, 3 colorless, trample, satyr warrior. When Gruff Triplets enters the battlefield, if it isn't a token, create 2 tokens that are copies of it. When Gruff Triplets dies, put a number of 1/1 counter equal to its power on each creature you control named Gruff Triplets. Alright, we have Lignite's Conquest. It's a 5 mana, sacrifice any number of artifacts, enchantments, and or tokens. Return target creature or that many creatures cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. We have Devouring Sugarmaw again. We have Spellbook Vendor. It's a 2 mana, 2/2 Human Peasant. It has Vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1. When you do, create a Sorcerer Roll token attached to the target creature you control. We also have Callous Sellsword. It's an uncommon. Burn together, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any other target. Then sacrifice it. And then Callous Sellsword enters the battlefield with 1/1 counter on it for each creature that died under your control this turn. Threadbind Click is a 4 mana 3/3 flying fairy with Rip the Seam for 3 mana, destroy target tap creature. Alright, we have Heartflame Duelist, Human Knight, 2 mana, 3/1, instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink, and then Heartflame slash deals 3 damage to any target. Great Bombardment is another enchantment for red. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less attacks, Great Bombardment deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker that creature is attacking. Um, Back for seconds, it's bargain. Return up to 2 target creature cards from the graveyard to your hand. If it if this spell is bargain, you may put one of those cards with mana value 4 or less onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your hand. Prince The Princess takes flight, 3 mana, saga, exile up to 1 target creature. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains flying until end of turn, and then return the exiled card to the battlefield under your control. Okay, we have Regal Bunnycorn. It's a 2 mana rabbit unicorn. Regal Bunnycorn's power and toughness are each equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. We have double rare. Nice. We have a wild card. And we have Aggravated Assault. It's a red mana, 2 in a red. Pay 5 and tap all creatures you control. If it's a main phase, there is an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Activate only as a sorcery. Mosswood Red Knight is a 2 mana 3/2 trample. When Mosswood Red Knight dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of your next turn. And then the adventure side of it is Dread's Whispers. You draw a card and lose 1 life. And we have a mythic. Alright, let's see what it is. Virtue of Strength. It's a 7 mana. If you tap a basic land for mana, it produces 3 times as much of that mana instead. And then Growth. Return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty good. Alright, we have another rare, Food Fight. This will be our 3rd copy. We have 5 more to go. Here we go. We have Huntsman's Redemption, 3 mana, 3/3 creature enters the battlefield as a beast token, and then you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature or basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle, and then up to 2 target creature um, each get +2/+2 and gain trample until the end of turn. Nice. We have Ranter's Transmuter, 4 mana, 3/4, and then this adventure side, tap target creature, create a curse roll token attached to it. Alright, 4 packs to go. What do we have? Charade and Numbering Depth. It's a 4 mana, 2 and white and blue, legendary creature, wizard, share. When Charade of Numbing Depths enter the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent control, and put a stun counter to it whenever you tap one or more untapped creature your opponent control. Draw a card. This ability only works once each turn. Johann Apprentice Sorcerer is a 4 mana, blue and red. It's a 2/5 human wizard. You look you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and then once each turn you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from the top of your library. Our rare card is Sleep Cursed Fairy. It's a blue mana 3/3 flying ward 2. Enters the battlefield tapped with 3 stun counters on it. Alright, last 3 packs. Here we go. We have the Iron Crag. We already know that. And last 2 packs. Ooh, looks like a mythic. It is a mythic. It's and a rare. Alright. We have Repercussions. It's 3 mana. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, repercussion deals that much damage to that creature's controller. And then the rare one is Hilda's Crown of Winter, 3 mana artifact legendary. Pay 1, tap, tap, target creature. This ability costs 1 less to activate during your turn. So, nice. If it's my turn, I can tap it for free. Or basically less mana. And then 3, sacrifice Crown of Winter. Draw a card for each tapped creature your opponent controls. Last pack, and here we go. Looks like it's a mythic. All right, we have Tough Cookie, uncommon. 2 mana, 2/2. When Tough Cookie enters the battlefield, create a food token, and then target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature until end of turn. Sacrifice Tough Cookie, you gain 3 life. What is our rare Spectre of Mortality? It's 5 mana. 3 and 2 black, flying. Whenever Spectre of Mortality enters the battlefield, you may exile 1 or more creature cards from your graveyard. When you do, each other creature gets -3/-3 until the end of the turn, where X is the number of cards exiled this way. And lastly, the final mythic for the packs that we opened. We have Omniscience. It's a 10 mana enchantment for blue. You may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. Alright, so there you have it, folks. All our packs have been opened. We probably built up a good collection of cards. And now it's time to play some standard with a constructed deck and see if we can win against the most popular decks right now. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed looking at opening packs. I do hope you go to your LGS or play in the arena and play some Magic this weekend. And hopefully you find the enjoyment of creating different kinds of decks, as standard right now is pretty volatile. A lot of decks showing up back and forth. Okay, until next time, thank you very much. This is Turn 1 Scoop. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and support the channel. Until next time, adios. This is Turn 1 Scoop signing out.